This kind of isn't how it typically goes. There are quite a few wrenches thrown into the process today. Hi, Patty. You hungry? Waiting for your breakfast. So I thought it would just be, I don't know, maybe interesting, something to do to take you through a day where I make their cat food. And I say that now, but thinking about my schedule, I might be making it today or I might be making it tomorrow. But it takes some preparation because I have to now go to a separate store to get my hearts, which is like 20 minutes away, versus the supermarket where I get my meat. Used to carry the hearts and the livers, but the past couple of months they just haven't been getting hearts in. So fortunately I do have a supermarket that carries the hearts all the time. They've never not carried hearts, but it's just about 20 minutes away versus 5 minutes away, which is my current supermarket. First of all, this is how much I have left. This is how I know I have to make it. This much for me. This is full. It's frozen. It's been thawing in the fridge, but this is like halfway full. This much I would estimate is like a day and a half left of food for all the kitties, so for 4 kitties. Usually they eat lighter in the morning, but it's not that huge of a difference. It's just in the morning they might kind of come and go to eat their breakfast when their dinner time meal is usually just inhaling like the whole plate and going about their business. So this is going to cover breakfast. This, which we're not going to use right now, but I'll open up to show you. This is going to cover breakfast and barely dinner tomorrow. But the issue is, and usually I would make it tomorrow just as this ran out. I don't usually do it when there's a couple of these left. I usually do it like this runs out, I have the new batch ready. But I'm gonna be busy all day tomorrow, so I kind of have to make it today with, to save the risk of them not having enough for dinner tomorrow and then me being able to make it the next day. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I'm gonna give them breakfast. I made this video years ago, I feel like, but I take their plates, which one of them broke, so I just got this glass one, but usually it's these Dollar Tree porcelain plates. I put them in the microwave 2 at a time, 55 seconds to heat up the actual plate, because you don't want to heat up the food. It's raw food. You want to mildly heat it up. So what I found is the perfect trick is to heat up the plates so the plates get really warm. I've already boiled my water. It's right here. So these plates are perfectly heated to the touch, and then I put a single plate in for 36 seconds. Very specific. So now I'm going to split this to the 3 plates and feed the babies. And I don't know why I'm taking you guys through this part, because I have video. What? Do you want to say hi? Okay. You just hungry? Okay. So yeah, I don't know why I'm showing you guys this part, but basically that's how I know I have to make another batch, is I see how much I have left. I think about my schedule and how it works. Actually, I'll talk to you as I'm doing this. Alfred. So my process of events when it comes to making their food is, like I said, I would formally just go to the one supermarket for the meat, the hearts, and the livers. But now I'm going to call and double check because maybe they have gotten hearts back in since the last time I had to make food, but it didn't look like it. They weren't coming in for at least a couple of months, so unless they randomly got them. But I should call and check. And the thing is, I call anyway because I've been doing this so long that, and I mentioned this in other videos as well, but I've befriended the meat department people who are awesome. And now, fortunately, one of my meat department buddies moved to another store that's just another 5 minutes away from me. So if my original store happens to be out of something, or if I just want to go to the other Publix, it's Publix I go to, then I kind of have 2 options now. So that's pretty cool. Just pour a couple tablespoons to heat up the surface of the raw food. So it's not cooking it, it's just heating it up. And yeah, then I just kind of mix everything together. and we'll put their plates down. Let's see here. Yeah? Where's Puppy? Alfred! Yeah. Oh, you're excited. You're excited, babe. There you go. Everybody has their little routine. My routine is putting their food down and then going to make my bed. Puppy usually races over here. I don't know where he is. Oh. Are you hungry? Come on, puppy. There he is. All right, so breakfast time is completed, or in progress, I guess I should say. So sometimes I will have some hearts and livers left over from a previous package in the freezer. So once I notice that I have 3 of these left, or once I put the second to last one or the last one in the fridge to thaw from the freezer, I will also put these in the fridge to defrost, because it takes these like at least, I don't know, in my experience, like 3 days to kind of defrost and soften up to where it's less of a pain to blend up when I'm making the food. So these have been in here for a couple of days. This is what's left here. I'm definitely gonna need more. This is maybe a third of the amount of hearts that I'm gonna need for the whole recipe. This might be sufficient for the livers, but I'm gonna get more anyway. Even if I was making the food, the actual entire batch tomorrow, or even 2-3 days from now, I would go to that store to get at least the hearts and the livers, because they're good in the fridge for at least a couple days. The meat, I always get, or do my best to get the day that I'm actually going to make the food, because I don't like the meat sitting in the fridge after it is ground up. And then these eggs, typically I make a double batch, so it's anywhere from 8 to 10 yolks depending on the weight of the meat. So I have 8 here. I'm gonna get some more eggs as well, just in case I need a couple more, and also because I like to eat eggs. Actually, shoot, I just realized, what am I gonna have for breakfast? I might have to go to the store now just to get eggs. Something else I do to prepare the day that I'm making cat food, or the day before, that's a kitty door, by the way. If you're new here, there's a little kitty door. Well, you just saw Puppy pop in through it. So the day I'm making the cat food, or 1 to 2 days before, so active around here, I'll go ahead and separate the eggs, the whites from the yolks, because we only use the yolks in the recipe. I'm going to do that now, and I just put the yolks in a bowl like this and cover it in saran wrap and put it in the fridge until I need it for the recipe. And I save the whites, usually in a little Tupperware, to enjoy for myself, to have like an egg white omelet. But usually, oh, I don't have to go to the supermarket then. I will just have an egg white kind of scramble. I've gotten into the habit of doing this. It's kind of a system I've grown over time, because it's so much easier once I get basically the meat and the organs. If I have everything else ready and prepared, like if I already have the eggs separated so I could just pull them out of the fridge and make sure that I have the organs thawing out like I showed you. These are just little things I learned over time that make the whole process a smoother system, because then I just get home with the meat and things and I just can pull stuff out of the fridge and just start making it, and it makes it a lot quicker. And when it comes to the quality of eggs that I use, I typically get just the organic Walmart large cage-free brown eggs, because they have more nutrients than, like, let's say Eggland's Best or any of those commercial type eggs. But I'm not about to spend like $5 plus on a dozen for the high quality eggs that I eat to put in the cat food, as more nutrient dense as they are, just because I'm on a budget and I cannot be buying these bougie eggs just to use the yolks in these babies' food. As much as I love them, you guys hear me say all the time, you got to do the best you can with what you have access to and what's within your budget. So that's what I do. So now I cover this with saran wrap. I'll just remember off the top of my head this is 8 eggs in case I need 1 or 2 more, which does happen depending on the weight of the meat. As soon as I make a batch, the next time I put in a Walmart pickup order, or I go to Walmart, I'll get the sardines for the next recipe so I don't have to worry about it last minute or something. So it's already, again, ready to go in the pantry, which if these don't look familiar, it's because these are part of my new recipe. I will say that these replace the salmon oil in the recipe, so in the new one that I'm going to share with you guys. So I've been working for a couple of hours, and usually I'll wait until after 11 to call the supermarket, basically ask them to prepare the meat. So it's a quick in and out for me. But the thing is how I get it prepared now, because it doesn't involve chicken skins and taking that off and deboning and all of that stuff. I could just walk into the store and ask them to do it, but I like to call ahead, again, just because preparation makes it go by a little bit quicker, and it's already ready no matter what time I get to the store, so where I could just pick up the meat. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to give them a call and then see what the happenings are.
Meat department, this is Morgan. How can I help you?
Hey Morgan, it's Jasmin. How are you?
Oh my God, Jasmin, how are you?
You're in a chipper mood today.
Chipper, there's a word I haven't heard in a while.
I need food from my cat, so I was calling to see what you have going on there. If you have anything on sale, maybe, for the Greenwise beefy stuff.
Hold on, uno momento.
Isn't he sweet? He's so nice.
Jasmin?
Yes.
Okay, Sue, here's the tea. We don't have a round meat on sale right now, but in the back we have a bottom round and we have an eye round.
Which one's less expensive?
I think they're the same, about $7.19 a pound.
Which one's easier to like cut the most fat off of?
Honestly, the eye round is the easiest because it's just a cap. You know, the bottom just has some fat running through it. You know, you have to do a little bit of surgery, but it's no trouble.
If you could just, before doing the coarse grind, if you could just cut off as much fat as possible to just discard out of the way.
You want 10 pounds?
Like usual, yep. Do you have hearts again or no? I know you've been out for like a couple weeks, like a month, but...
Yeah, it looks like we still are. We only have gizzards right now.
Okay, that's fine. I just have to run to a different store for that. Will it be ready in like an hour?
I can do that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, so that is basically how I order my meat every time. Just, you know, be kind, become friends with your butchers or wherever you're gonna get your meat. I mean, just be kind to everybody, but, you know, just befriend the people that are gonna be helping you out all the time. And yeah, that's what I do. So I'm gonna finish up a couple things here, and then we are going to run those couple of errands to get the kitty stuff. So I haven't left yet because this guy, oh, he's always needy at this time of day. Gotta go get your food though, bub. Gotta clean your eyeballs too. Wanna say hi? No, you just wanna dance? What's that paw doing? Okay, oh. Say bye, Alfred, with your dancy little paw. What is it doing? Oh, you wanna put it on my arm? Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, we're paw tucking and lounging. Oh, it's gonna be a little bit. I guess I'll keep working here. All right, we are on our way to get the chicken hearts and then to get the meat. And I have to get a couple groceries. Another reason I don't mind coming to this place is because they have this Middle Eastern section. This stuff is like crack if you've never had it. Halva. So, this is very interesting. It's been a while, but my backup store for the chicken hearts was actually out of chicken hearts. So I ended up just getting some livers. I have two options. I can either seek out another store, which there's a couple butcher shops, kind of a distance from here, but I can seek out another store. I'm going to text the other butcher that I know, even though I don't think that store is gonna have them, but just to check and see. And then the third option is to just use the hearts that I had thawed out at home, because thankfully I do have some, and replace the rest with the calculations for taurine, which I do have a video about this. It's in the cat stuff playlist, but it's how to make raw cat food if you can't find chicken hearts, because you can. There is a way, and basically you just make up for the weight that the hearts would have taken up in the recipe with more meat, and make sure to add more supplemental taurine to replace the taurine that would have been in those hearts that aren't in the recipe. It's so interesting this is happening today. This probably hasn't happened to me in a couple of years at least. So let's see what happens. So I called the butcher shop. It's an actual meat market butcher shop to see if they had hearts. That is closer to my house. They do not. There are two other places I could have called and checked on. One is another 15 minutes farther away, so it would have been like 30 minutes from my house. And honestly, I just don't have time to go all the way out there. And the other one is even farther away, right next to my friend's house, which is 30 minutes away. And I have no plans on going out there, and I'm not gonna ask him to grab them and like bring them to me. So there are different options around here, but if there's a shortage, there's a shortage. And honestly, if this place doesn't have them that I just went to, this my backup place, it's gonna be hard to find them. And I've never bothered ordering them online because I've never had to, and because I do rarely have to do this backup, how to make, you know, the raw food without hearts. For the recipe to not have the total amount of hearts that it calls for, even once every few months, it's not a huge deal because they're still getting the nutrients if you calculate the weight correctly, and then if you calculate the supplemental taurine that's going to be made up for it. Very interesting that this is happening on the day that I choose to do this, but let me know in the comments below if you want me to do this again. Maybe the next time I make it, maybe it'll be more ordinary, like the typical routine, which isn't so much seek and find, especially when it comes to these hearts. But off to the supermarket. All right, guys, we are home. I have this set up. I kind of rescheduled my day around. Usually, honestly, I do this at night when I'm finished working, had my dinner. I just make this at night, but there's changed plans today. Clearly, I had to shuttle around a little bit. So I have my meat here. Already put out my B vitamins right here. I make a double batch. That's why I have so much meat and double of the B vitamins. Already put the sardines in here and just mashed it up. Have my eggs out, supplements and utensils. And yep, this is the same bin that you've seen me use since my very first how to make raw cat food video. Have my kitchen shears. Usually I spend time catching up on podcasts or YouTube or whatever. If it was nighttime, I would probably be video chatting and catching up with family or friends or something. I typically put all of these containers here. These are like those meal service delivery services, or like meal services, or even takeout containers. So that's what I use to put the food in. Right now it is 2:56. I'm just going to make the food and check back in when it's finished, because I use my own raw cat food recipe calculator, which I need my phone on, which is what I'm filming on. So I'm going to calculate everything. I'll see how many more livers I need besides this. Once I calculate, we'll see how many hearts I have. It's not bad. I'm happy I at least have some. I'll link in the description below, and maybe the pinned comment, how to make raw cat food if you can't find hearts, if you're out of hearts, if you don't have enough hearts, which is, funnily enough, what happened to me today. But I guess, I don't know, I'm kind of glad that happened to show you that even if it goes perfectly, like 19 times out of 20, sometimes this can happen. So I'll link the procedure on how to, you know, deal with it if this happens to you. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started making this because I'm on a schedule. So here we go. All mixed up. 3:30, you guys, this is amazing time. I almost felt, I'm like, what did I forget to do? Because I went through this so fast. But here's the thing. So I was short about 526 grams of hearts, which comes to a little less than 1.2 pounds. Normally, I'd be done making this, pack it away, put it in the freezer, good to go for like, with 4 cats, this lasts like about 2 weeks. This used to last me over a month with just Puppy, and then around a month when it was just, hi Papa, when it was just Puppy and Alfred. Now with 4 cats, I have to do this like every 2 weeks. I don't mind. I've committed to it. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. If there was a food out there that was up to my standards when it came to their nutrition and what I knew was good for them, and here's the kicker, and that fit into the budget, because there is store-bought raw food that you can get, but it is the most expensive food you can buy. If I was to have something that hit all the marks, surely I would not spend all the time I do actually making it, but it's been such a routine that I don't mind. I have it down to a science. But anyway, so what I'm gonna have to do now, instead of being done with it, is cover this up, put it in the fridge, and then I'm going to run back to the store, which fortunately is only 5 minutes away, and pick it up, mix it in here to make sure everything's good, and then it will be ready to put away. Oh, and something else I wanted to point out too, you know, if you live in an apartment complex with a dumpster or whatever, this probably doesn't matter to you, but my trash comes 2 days a week, so I always try to schedule making this the night before. Those are coffee grounds that I just dumped in there, so that nothing with like, you know, meat juice or meaty stuff has to sit in the trash outside, because then it just gets really nasty and it can like just start to smell and get really gross. I tried to make this the night before trash goes out so that all the trash that I happen to have from it can go out the next morning and I don't have to worry about that. I'll be honest, Puppy, what do you think, bub? Halfway through this video today, I was like, maybe I shouldn't put it out. You know, this kind of isn't how it typically goes. There were quite a few wrenches thrown into the process today, but then I thought, no, this is just an example of what can happen sometimes. So I hope that this doesn't discourage you from making it if you never have before, like, you know, seeing me have trouble finding the hearts and whatever. That was really the only issue besides fitting it into my schedule. Like I keep saying, it was, you know, kind of a rare case today. Usually it goes a lot more smoothly. I know. Oh, do you want some? Okay, baby. Let me give you a little fresh piece. Okay, Bubba. There you go, babe. So, yes, I'm going to cover this up, run to the store to get that other pound or whatever, and finish making this cat food. You guys, what a day! What a day, handsome! Oh, hello. It's me from the future. Oh, okay, what's the date? That batch of food lasted me 12 days. I just realized I didn't really film an outro for it, so that's what we're doing right now. I am back at Bravo because guess what? It's time to make the kitties more food. And guess what? They were stocked full of a crap ton of hearts like usual this time. So it's time to make my babies their food again, but it's also Pepper's replenishment this week. Hers as a solo cat lasts her, it seems like 6 weeks or something, over a month, maybe 5 or 6 weeks. But for my kitties, what has it been? About 11 days, because I started feeding them from that batch on the 2nd, and they will be finishing that batch at dinner tonight. And I'll be honest, I'm on more of the budget recently, so when I get their meat today, for the first time in over a year, I want to say, I'm going to do at least half chicken thighs. Oftentimes, chicken thighs, the good quality ones, are BOGO, which saves so much money, especially when making big batches of the cat food. So you kind of, I play it by ear according to a ton of factors, including what's available, including the cost of things, what might be on sale, what, you know, might be BOGO, which is awesome when that happens. For kitties, I feel like a single mother. It is so expensive and it requires me to make the food. I thought it was closer to 2 weeks, to be honest, but clearly it's a little less than 2 weeks. The whole point of this, just like with eating better as a human, is when you put more of an investment up front in your nutrition and your nourishment, then it ends up costing you less in the long run when it comes to health issues, potential diseases, spending money at the vet or the doctor for humans. So it does pay off, and it pays itself off, not to mention You don't get dandery, sheddy cats. Their poop doesn't stink. All of those things that I've talked about a ton of times before. But anyway, enough car sitting. I hope you guys enjoyed the other day's video showing you basically what I went through to make the kitties their cat food. I just realized I've been wearing my sunglasses this whole time. Excuse me for that. I feel like that's kind of rude. It's kind of like wearing a hat at the dinner table, but video's over now. So you guys have a beautiful day. Leave me any comments, any questions you might have, and I'm gonna do better at putting out more raw cat food subject matter videos this upcoming year in 2022. You guys have a good one, and I will see you soon. Bye.